Welcome everybody to the Hoops Post Up. Today we are talking NBA restart, and there are some surprises going on.
We knew there might be some surprises. Obviously, things don't always go as planned. This is a weird, crazy situation. Obviously, only 8 games to play for the seeding. What are we going to call it? The seeding play-in tournament? I don't know. But point is, ending the regular season, trying to get some playoff positioning. Some teams fighting just to try to make the playoffs. And it could happen. We got a sleeper team maybe emerging from the West, but not the team that a lot of people thought.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a couple of teams that are standing out. One, particularly, is the dark horse of the group. Wow.
Well, let's talk about Phoenix Rising. Obvious pun there. No, the thing is, it was too obvious. Everybody coming out of the West said, oh, Portland, right? Because obviously they were there last year, right? They were a contender.
And they're doing well. Don't get us wrong.
They are doing well.
Melo is lighting it up. He's doing a good job.
Who would have thought, right? Melo's, back from the dead. And then, obviously they got Nurkic back. They got Collins back. So this is starting to look more like last year's team. So Portland obviously has a chance to make the playoffs. It looks like it's possible, though, that Phoenix might take everybody by surprise. Now, obviously they have to catch up, not just to Portland, but Memphis still technically has that 8th spot, but I don't think that's going to last.
Exactly. Have you seen Memphis? They're not doing too well.
Not really. They're missing.
And let me tell you what is going on. We know he's talented. We know he was lighting it up before the bubble. Devin Booker is on fire.
So here's the thing, and this is why, well, first of all, why Phoenix is even in the hunt to begin with, right? But why we talk about Phoenix, they actually have a legit potential superstar. We know that the NBA is a league that's all about the star player, right? This is the game where one player can make all the difference, all right? So it doesn't even matter the role players around you. If you have guys who can maybe knock down the occasional shot, grab some boards, play defense, if you have that one guy leading the way, you have a chance, right?
Devin is averaging 30 points a game in the last 3 games that he's played, right?
And I know you saw that knockdown buzzer
that
beater.
was a beautiful shot. He was fully covered.
He wasn't just covered, he was fouled, legit fouled. He only had one hand to shoot with because the left hand got smacked. I think it was Paul George who did it. That was one of the most impressive. That might be the shot of the year so far.
Against those two dudes, I was really so happy to see that happen.
The only thing better if it would be in Kawhi's face, right? But Booker, I know you've been a big Booker fan for a while, but he's starting to show out. So this is a guy who...
He has such confidence for being such a young guy. He has that confidence, and definitely. It is beautiful. It is beautiful to watch.
So here's the question. Can he keep it up, not just to kind of make a playoff run, but to actually make the playoffs? Do you think that it'll be enough? Because, yeah, you have that one guy, but is that enough when, I mean, honestly, we know he can score, right? I mean, he's just a knockdown shooter, but he's not like a LeBron or a Kawhi who also is going to play amazing defense and, could get 10 rebounds. He's not going to necessarily control the game on both sides. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a shooter. He's more like Steph Curry. Well, I guess you put it that way. You think, well, yeah, of course he can control. But he doesn't have a Klay Thompson or that, with him. So
well, I think he's doing pretty well now. And if Phoenix, if they're winning and they don't have some of their star players, right? They don't have Aaron Baines. I mean, that's their inside guy. Doesn't he get the boards for them? And he hasn't played yet. Like, he's recovering from COVID. He's back. He's in the bubble now. But I think of him coming back. I think of, well, no, they have, what's his name out?
Well, that's the other thing. Oubre's out. Now, he's doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, partially because he has to, because they, like you said, Baines is out. And then Oubre's been out. I think he's supposed to come back. Who knows if he'll come back during the regular season. But they're missing their guys. They're basically doing this with a 9-man rotation, right? They're not having a lot of guys come off the bench. There's not a lot of depth on this team to begin with. It's a young-ish team. Ayton is their next best player. He's a second-year player.
Yeah.
So
but
it's mainly
Ayton's
Booker.
Doing well.
Ayton's
he's
doing
averaging 17, 18 points a game.
Yep.
He's doing well. So I am really liking what I see. I see a hunger in them. And the other teams, not so much, right? I think they could pass the Spurs. I think they could pass. Who else is in front of them?
Or Spurs. Well, Memphis obviously slipping. Portland is the team that really is going to give the biggest.
I'm sorry. This little guy right here.
Yes, you want to be on the show? Is that what you want?
This little guy right here is nipping at me.
Like
So,
literally nipping.
so let me take him. Hi, Stone. Say hi to everyone. Go Spurs, go.
Say hi.
So we're gonna put
He doesn't
him.
want to be on camera.
We're gonna put him to bed, and we'll be right back. Hang on a second, guys. Okay, we're back, everyone. We put the little one to bed, and let's talk basketball again.
All right, so Phoenix, a team that 3-0 to start out in the bubble, and they still have some ground to make up. But the way Memphis is falling, I mean, they're already 0-3, and this is even with Jaren Jackson Jr., who's now out the rest of the season. I'm not saying they're going to win, not going to win another game, but it's very possible that they slip not just out of the 8th spot, but the 9th spot, which means it's possible that another team could climb up to that 9th spot and battle with Portland for the play-in.
And I didn't expect this at all. Yes, of course, with Jaren Jackson going down, but this was a complete surprise to me to see Memphis losing. Like, I'm shocked because Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson, they were all doing very well together.
Yeah, honestly, to me, not too surprising to see Memphis fall out because, I mean, they're so young. I mean, at this point in the season, we don't know what would have happened if the season had never been halted in the beginning, but they had a tough path to finish out strong and make the playoffs. Portland could have come on much sooner, although you could argue, well, they had the time to get those guys back healthy, so who knows?
Definitely has the veteran leadership on that team, and they are hungry. You can tell that they're pushing and they're fighting. And like I said, Melo is hot right now.
Right. But as far as Memphis, to me, not surprising to see them fall. It's Phoenix rising so fast. That's the surprise because this is also kind of a young team, too. Obviously, Rubio's been around a few years, but Aiden is second year. Booker's still pretty young. He's been around a few years, but still pretty young guy. And just to see him elevate his game, I'm not going to put money on the fact that they're going to finish 8th. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they might finish 9th, though, because, like I said, the Spurs aren't really doing that well. Pelicans aren't taking advantage. The Kings are, just there. So
Right.
I think Phoenix and Portland are going to be the play-in teams.
They're going to be fighting it out for that spot for sure.
Yeah, I would still put my money in Portland, though.
Portland.
All right. Now, in the East, there really isn't going to be a surprise as far as making the playoffs because, let's just face it, the playoffs are pretty much set there. Washington never had a chance. But as far as seeding, you could argue whether it even matters because home court doesn't really exist because we're all in Orlando, and Orlando's not going to do anything.
Cute to see those little virtual Zoom people.
Cute? I don't know if cute's the word I would use. But anyways, yeah, the virtual fans, they're kind of creepy to me. But we want to look at the teams that are going to finish strong, right? Because a lot of times the teams that finish hot, right, go into the playoffs hot. They might be making some noise because it shows they're playoff ready. They're hungry. This is a totally different situation because we had a 2-month layoff, and now we have so many guys who aren't there, guys who are hurt.
Guys are getting injured.
Guys are still getting injured. We knew that might happen, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and we have some guys who've been missing. The Pacers, if anything, we thought they were going to start out slow because Sabonis hasn't played, right? Their main guy this year. Oladipo, remember we talked about him opting out. Well, I guess he didn't opt out after all.
He changed his mind, and he's there, and they are 3-0.
So how is this happening? How are they 3-0 with their main guy, Oladipo, is not 100%, Sabonis isn't even there?
So there's a guy on their squad who's scoring like 39 points a game.
Not who you think.
So TJ Warren has scored like 30 points in all 3 games.
And it's not slowing down. I mean, who knows what'll happen next, but he's taking a team on his back. Like with Booker, that's not really a shock, right? Because we've seen him do that. This guy who scored 50 points before. Warren is just repeatedly going out and doing things he's never done before.
So talk to me about his supporting cast. Who else is there for him to help him out?
Well, Oladipo is there, but again, he's not really fully himself yet. Sabonis should be coming back. Miles Turner's the other guy who is really important. He needs to play well, obviously, in the front court, especially when Sabonis is out. And he's been doing pretty well, too. But it's all about Warren, really. He's the one who's doing all the heavy lifting. And this team should get Brogdon back. That's obviously a big piece if he can do it. I mean, this team actually has kind of a sneaky loaded roster as far as the front, court and then the starting 5.
Right. Well, we talked about this in an earlier video. Do you think it's because of who they've played in these first 3 games that they are 3-0?
Now, that's a
They
good
played
point.
Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they play Washington?
Washington, yeah. So yeah, that okay. When you take a step back and you look, or beating Washington, which is basically like a skeleton crew, and then Orlando,
They've had an easier start to this bubble
they
play.
definitely have needed. Okay, so this is true, right? And Philly, we never know what you can get from Philly. Any team can beat Philly on any given day, right?
Ah,
So that's
like
true. Maybe we kind of take a little grain of salt with this, but once they play Miami twice. That's going to be the key because obviously those are the teams battling for fourth and fifth spot. Which, if you think about it, it really doesn't matter because
and
they're
right now
both going
Miami
to be
has the
fourth and
fourth
fifth.
spot.
Right. So in reality, it kind of doesn't matter because whoever's fourth and fifth, they'll still play
They'll
each
still
other,
play each
and
other.
they
Yeah.
don't have home court advantage unless you count the virtual fans. So I guess you're fighting for virtual home court.
Virtual Zoom people.
Yeah. Maybe you don't want that. No. But anyways, Indiana, just something to keep an eye on. And I think to me, more than anything, this is big for Warren personally because now he's a guy that the team can look and say, you know what, maybe you're not just like a fourth or fifth option. Maybe you can be a guy we go to in crunch time. Maybe down the road, there's a guy we can count on. So it's a big boost because now it takes the pressure off Oladipo, to come back and lead the team. And then maybe they can keep Sabonis, off the court for a little while longer.
Excellent.
Do you think Indiana, though, here's a big question. Do you think they have a chance to actually make noise in the playoffs when it comes down to playing Miami in the first round? I'm going to stay out of that because my bias, and you already know what I would say. But do you think Indiana is a team that could be a sleeper in the playoffs?
If they're going to be up against Miami in the first round, no. I don't think they'll get past that. I really don't. And
Good answer.
yeah. Miami is too deep, has way too many guns on their team.
Absolutely. So nice trying, Indiana, but enjoy this little run while it lasts. Now, we obviously have some time left because we're not even quite halfway through the NBA restart. There could be some other surprises, teams that go on a big run to end. But so far, it's what we got. What do you think? What's the biggest surprise so far? Individual player, maybe some teams that's disappointed so far. Obviously, Milwaukee not doing so great. The Lakers. What do you think?
So tell us what you think. Comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are. Who do you have coming in that 8th spot in the East? Who do you have making a run on the West? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are up to date with any content that we have here on Hoops with Step.
Absolutely. Hit that subscribe button. If you prefer the written word, still exists, trust me. I just wrote some words on what we just talked about at hoopspostup.com, so check it out. We'll be here all throughout the playoffs and the NBA restart to keep you posted.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Peace and love. Peace.
Well, to me, it's not really, honestly, not surprising to see Memphis fall out of the playoffs.
Let's try that again because
You lost what you were thinking of?
Yes.
Seriously?
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.